What memory still wakes you at night? I was 16 driving home from basketball practice when I saw this old man on the side of the highway next to his broken-down car. It was getting dark and starting to rain pretty hard. I slowed down thinking I should stop and help, but then I remembered what my parents always said about not picking up strangers or stopping for people you don't know. So I kept driving, telling myself someone else would help him, or he probably had a cell phone to call AAA. When I got home 20 minutes later, I felt this nagging guilt in my stomach, so I convinced my dad to drive back with me to check on the guy. We got there and saw ambulances and police cars everywhere with their lights flashing. The old man was lying on a stretcher covered with a white sheet. A paramedic told us he'd had a massive heart attack while trying to change his tire alone in the rain. He said the guy had been out there for over an hour in the cold before someone finally stopped to help. The cop said if someone had helped him sooner, or at least called for help, he probably would have made it to the hospital alive. My dad put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Son, sometimes doing the right thing means taking a small risk to help another human being." We drove home in complete silence, with the rain beating against our windshield. 2 days later, I saw his obituary in the local newspaper while eating breakfast with my mom. His name was Robert Chen, and he was 73 years old. He'd been driving home from visiting his granddaughter at college for her birthday celebration. The article said he was a retired high school math teacher who spent his weekends volunteering at the animal shelter and coaching Little League Baseball for free. It mentioned that he was survived by his wife of 50 years named Linda and 3 grown children who lived across the country. But what really broke me was the last line of the obituary. It said in lieu of flowers, the family asked for donations to a scholarship fund he'd started for underprivileged kids who couldn't afford college tuition. This man had spent his entire life helping others and teaching kids, and when he needed help the most, I drove right past him like he was invisible. I found out later from the police report that he'd actually waved at me as I passed by trying to get my attention for help. That was 15 years ago, and I still think about Robert Chen every single night before I fall asleep, wondering what kind of person I really am inside. I wonder if his granddaughter ever found out why Grandpa never made it home from her birthday visit, and if she blames herself for asking him to come see her that rainy weekend.